And this is not a beginning, this is just one step in a long process. To close this conference, I would like to hand over to Henri Nallet, President of the Jean-Jaurès Foundation, and Ernst Stetter, Secretary General of the Foundation for European Progressive Studies, FEPS. Henri Nallet.
Bien, mes chers amis, je n'ai pas l'intention ni la prétention.
Dear friends, it is neither my intention nor my pretension to even attempt to summarize such a rich debate. But as the president of the Jean-Jaurès Foundation, I'd like to thank all those that made this day possible, those that welcomed us here today, the team that translated everything we heard, all the presentations today, and all participants, and in particular, the former country presidents that took part in this last panel discussion this afternoon. And lastly, I would like to thank all of those who made this day possible through their preparatory work. Gilles Finkelstein just mentioned the Jean-Jaurès Foundation and the FEPS. And I would like to single out two persons who really did a lot, that really contributed to this day. Gérard Fuchs for the Jean-Jaurès Foundation. Really special thanks to him. Heartfelt thanks to him for all his work. It entailed traveling a lot, holding many meetings, and he really showed determination, unfailing determination from beginning to end. And I do know that there were some difficult moments, and so my thanks are really heartfelt. And then I'd like to thank my old dear friend Ernst Stetter. From the very start, from the very early days, he got on the bandwagon and really participated, cooperated in this joint activity that we put together that has culminated in today's event. So, Ernst, I'd also like to thank you for your very personal contribution. Thank you. Now, we had many speakers today, experts, politicians, vice chair of the IPCC, all of them, of course. We'd like to express our gratitude to all of them. And particular thanks go to the French Minister of Foreign Affairs who will chair COP21, Laurent Fabius. He came to offer a few simple but direct thoughts. And once again today, we were able to see that negotiations on climate change are a difficult, complex, long process where differing interests are at play. Now, for 20 years and more now, we've seen the negotiations go up and down, go through some very tough, frustrating times. There have been tensions between countries or groups of countries. We cannot deny that. But COP21 will be coming up in December, chaired by France and Mr. Laurent Fabius. Therefore, I think it is all the more important that we maintain this positive momentum. A positive momentum has to support this international event, and we have to do our utmost to encourage dialogue between all parties to the Convention on Climate Change. As we heard very powerfully and simply from Mr. Van Ieperzel, Vice Chair of the IPCC, this morning, We must leave this Paris meeting with the sense of urgency, the urgency of the need to address climate change. And we heard it several times today. This response has to be a political one because it affects all our fellow citizens, starting with the most vulnerable citizens. For many of us here today in this room, it's very important to understand that it's not, an environmental objective, an environmental demand. It is of a political nature. It has a political dimension, and that's how we should deal with it. Indeed, for a positive response to emerge to address climate change, we need political will, but that political will has to be shared internationally. And we have to, perhaps, agree to work as we have learned to do as negotiators. That means that we have to be able to concede things and also accept things. And in order to be able to do that, this requires a better mutual understanding, more respect, better knowledge of each other. It has been said that multilateralism is the only possible pathway, but we also know that multilateralism, the multilateral approach, is the most demanding, the most strenuous road, and it requires a lot of effort on the part of all of us. And that is why events such as today's are extremely precious. They're very useful because they bring together people from the political world, experts, researchers, academics, representatives of civil society, trade union representatives, spanning 15 different countries from the northern and southern hemispheres. This has been an opportunity for all of these different players to present, to interact, to discuss amongst themselves and with the audience. And we had a large audience today. And so we, I would say, are offering them an opportunity to start off the negotiation. Of course, they will not be completing the negotiation, but in doing so, we hope to have made a modest contribution to strengthening this dialogue, to forging new relations, new bonds between us, to ensuring mutual respect and cooperation, to fuel the huge amount of work that still has to be done before Paris in December. And every contribution has to be taken into account. And as a chairman of the Jean-Jaurès Foundation, I would immediately like to take up President D'Alema's proposal. Yes, Massimo, I'm talking about you. And so on behalf of the Jean-Jaurès Foundation, I will be submitting a proposal to our Minister for National Education, a proposal to organize a whole day before COP21, a day where all schools and teaching institutions, and we can put forward this proposal across other countries, dedicated to a discussion on climate change. And we all relate to this adjective progressives, and the historical network of foundations and institutions that have been the traditional partners of the Jean-Jaurès Foundation and FEPS have come together to make this event possible. I'm very proud of that. We have a long history and tradition of political dialogue, respectful dialogue amongst peers, and I'm very glad that we were able to put aside one day to discuss the climate. It is vital for us, but more importantly for those generations that will follow us. And I certainly hope that the bonds that have started to grow here today will be long-lasting, that they will be strong, and we will support them. That will help further collaboration between our countries. That's definitely my wish. And I can speak for the Jean-Jaurès Foundation, and so for President D'Alema. The Jean-Jaurès Foundation and FEPS will continue their work in support of COP21 between now and December. And I'm happy to leave the floor now to my friend Ernst Stetter for the rest of this summary. Thank you very much.
Merci Henri, et merci aussi pour les remerciements.
Thank you, Henry, and thank you for the thanks. Before you go and enjoy the sun and the spring in Paris, I still have some information to give you on the follow-up to this project. This conference today is only a first step in view of COP21. We will continue what we started in various countries. We will continue this year. We will continue to contribute to the discussion. You may have seen our internet website. It's called Progressive for Climate, and you'll see various opinions, articles, and so forth. So I'd like to invite you to share this with your networks and contribute on the special platform we organized on the internet. Between now and December, we'll have 2 other days of 2 conferences, one in Brussels, of course, the first one, that should help the European delegation that will represent the 28 member states in Brussels for the COP21. So we'll have that as after the summer, and we'll have a second one here in Paris. It will be on the 15th of October here in the National Assembly, but this time we will be linked to an initiative of the French Socialist Party with European Democrats, people who want to organize to prepare for COP21 here in Paris around Manuel Valls, the Prime Minister, and he will gather social democratic leaders from the whole of Europe and MEPs and intellectuals, experts, and a lot of people. So that is the follow-up to our project. Now, I'm not forgetting that we will meet in Paris anyway from the 30th of November to the 30th of December next. So thank you very much, and still enjoy what's left of the sun in Paris today. Thank you very much.